Hey everybody, welcome back to The Truth, where today we're going to go over the college football games for this week and my personal opinions on the teams of each game this week. So the first game we have is at 11 in the morning, Georgia versus Vanderbilt. This is a good game for Georgia to build off of last week, have another dominating win, and to put them up to keep building that rapport of this is why I should be number one in college football. Playing Vanderbilt, not a really good team in the SEC. They're 0-3 and they're 2-5 on the season. This is a really good game for Georgia to just get a dominant win. Indiana versus Michigan. I mean, Michigan has, like I've continually said, Michigan has been silently really good this year. So, I expect a pretty good win. With that being said, I could see a sloppier game just because it happens sometimes, but I expect to see a pretty good win by Michigan. Ohio State. Ohio State versus Purdue, they need to have a dominant win for them to say, yeah, I'm still a top 4 team in the nation right now. I deserve a playoff spot. Because right now, they haven't proved that. I want to see Ohio State do really, really well and to say, like, hey, yeah, I'm 5-0 and my games prove it. But they haven't. They've been playing really close games with teams they should have easily blown out. And that's why they're still on my, fraudulent watch. Like they need to dominate this Purdue game, because if not, I think they're probably frauds. Going into Florida State, better game than last week. Last week they had a better game. I want to see them. I know it's a little bit of a tougher team, I believe, in Syracuse, even though they're 0-2 in the ACC. I want to see them have a good win. They are 4-2, but I want to see them have a good win, put together, so that way you can secure that number 4 spot. Because Oklahoma's knocking at the door, just waiting for a team to lose so they can make the playoffs this year. Because they're itching for it after that win over the Red River Showdown. Alabama, this is a game I'd probably circle on your games to watch this Saturday. I think it's going to be a good game. Arkansas versus Alabama. Arkansas against Ole Miss and LSU, they kind of kept it close. That's a team to watch, even though the record doesn't show it. They're a team who could make this game really interesting. Although Bama does need a really dominant win to keep where they're at. But this could be a close game. I'd have it circled on your games to watch in the morning, because that could be a really fun game to watch, really exciting game, especially early on. Colorado versus Utah. Utah just keeps trucking along, trying to keep that one loss at 1, because you don't want to drop 2. You drop 2, you're probably not going to make the playoffs. You're almost definitely not going to make the playoffs. So you keep on trucking along, keep doing what you're doing, and stay up there. If you're Utah, do I think it's going to be a close game? It could be. California, passing-wise, rushing-wise, and receiving-wise, have better players, or statistically better players. But I wouldn't be surprised if also Utah did some things to put California in a bind. Going on to Penn State versus Massachusetts, another quiet team that's been doing surprisingly well. I believe Penn State should easily take care of UMass. I don't see what they'd have to really put them in a bind. Another, I think it's an independent school. It is going to be suppose it's going to be a little rainy, but other than that, I think Penn State should take care of this game pretty well. My probably game of the week for Saturday is Oregon versus Washington. Whoever wins this game has a good case to make for why they should be a top 4 seed in the playoffs. It's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be really exciting. At 2:30, this is the game I'm circling on ABC. That's the game I'm circling to watch, because that's gonna be a fun game. I expect it to be high scoring. I expect it to be back and forth turnovers. A really good game. Really, really good game. So, honestly, I literally, my personal opinion is the team who makes the least amount of mistakes or the quarterback who makes the least amount of mistakes is going to win this game. But I mean, like I'm repeating it. This is a game I want to watch at 2:30. Another game that could potentially be interesting is that Texas A&M versus Tennessee game. Um, Texas A&M isn't that bad this year. I know that it shows 4-2, but they're not that bad. They're probably one of the better 4-2 teams in the nation right now. Tennessee has had some struggles. They are 4-1, but they've had some struggles. But this could be a close game, close, fun game to watch. So I'd keep an eye on it. Kansas versus Oklahoma State. I don't know how to make up my mind on this. Kansas needs this win to stay top 25. Oklahoma, you don't want to get to 500. You get to 500, it's a tough spot to be at. It really is. So we'll see. I mean, we'll see how they do. But if you're a Big 12 fan, that's probably a game I'd watch to tune in just periodically. Louisville versus Pittsburgh. Look, I expect this one to be a blowout. I think Louisville should take care of it. Now, will they have a turnover or two? Maybe. I don't know. That could be how it is. But Pittsburgh's 1-4. Louisville's 6-0. I mean, that it says it for itself. Arizona versus Washington State. Arizona, I'd watch out for Arizona. This could potentially be an upset game over Washington State, but it could also be a decent to really good win for Washington State. It really just depends on how they come into that game. It's a 6 p.m. game, so it's going to be a nice later game, some bright lights, so it's going to be really interesting, but don't be surprised if Arizona State's in this game, hanging with Washington State. I mean, I said Arizona State. Don't be surprised if Arizona's hanging in with Washington. It could be one of those games. Auburn versus LSU. Man, it's the same thing I said last week with LSU. One, can their defense step up? And two, is Auburn's offense going to be able to keep up with LSU's offense? Because LSU proved last week they're going to score a lot of points. They've been proving that all year except for week 1. They're going to score a stupid amount of points. I think I saw a stat this week that Jaden Daniels, he has like the second best statistical passing season other than like Joe Burrow. Like he's doing really well this year. He is now. I would watch out though for Jaden Daniels not being able to scramble too much because he did suffer a little bit of a rib injury against that last game. However, it's like I said, is Auburn going to be able to run the football and build off of that, and are they going to be able to slow down this LSU offense? Because if not, LSU is going to score a stupid amount of points. Like over under 60, I'd probably expect like if Auburn doesn't score 20 something to 40 something. That's the type of game that could happen. USC versus Notre Dame. I'm gonna be honest. I expect USC to dominate this game, and there's no reason they shouldn't. It's kind of something similar to LSU, but I just don't believe Notre Dame's going to be able to score as many points as USC is. USC might be ranked 10th in the nation, but there's a reason they have 6 wins, and that's because of Caleb Williams and that offense. It's dominant. They're throwing. He's running everywhere. He's doing things Caleb Williams does. So that being said, I expect this to be a pretty decent mark. It says the line's 3-point favorite in Notre Dame. I like USC in this game. I think USC can do really well. They can put up a lot of points, and it'll be really good for them if they can have a couple stops. Miami versus North Carolina. This is a game where I'm kind of interested to see where North Carolina is going to be at, because Miami isn't a bad team, but they're a little sloppy. I'm not gonna lie, they are a little sloppy sometimes. So this is a game where this is a real test for North Carolina to see where they are this year. If they drop it, maybe they're not as good as we think. If they win it decently, maybe they are as good as we think, or maybe even better. So it's going to be really interesting to see. Missouri versus Kentucky. Man, I do not know what to say about this game. I like Missouri. I like that run game. They couldn't hang with LSU in that passing offense, and that defense just got slaughtered. But that offense still cooked a little bit. And then Kentucky played a little bit of sloppier game with the Georgia. They kind of hung in there though, which is, I mean, that's saying something because it's still Georgia. It's cloudy. This could be a close game at 6:30. That if you're an SEC fan, you might want to tune into and see how it goes. UCLA versus Oregon State. It's gonna be a rainy game. Oh, it's scheduled to be a rainy game. This could be a really tough game for either one. Rainy game, Pac-12 game. Could be a fun game to watch. But it could be a really big run game, heavy style of offense just because of that weather. Like that's the thing to keep in with that rainy weather. It's something to monitor. It could be super rainy and they just have to run it out, which would still be a really good game, I think. Note the NC State versus Duke. Give me Duke. NC State quarterback has 5 touchdowns for 6 interceptions. Duke's defense should easily help them out with this. They should help them out with this. Now, will it happen? Who knows? But I like Duke. I like Duke with over 3.5 points. I think Duke probably wins by a touchdown here. I could be wrong, but I do. That's my personal opinion. I think that Duke defense is going to help out a lot. I think that offense is should capitalize off of it too. With that being said, let me know what you think. Which games you have circled on for that day, or which teams you think will go the other way. And I'll see y'all later.